point. So I think we'll start off with my with the first subject I want to talk about is I don't know, maybe a week or two ago I was just on YouTube like I usually am, you know, watching all the different little channels I watch and stuff, and I came across that they were talking about a new Spawn movie, and I guess Todd McFarlane, I know he's been talking about it for like a long time. Like I think it's been pretty much probably since like the first one came out. Shortly after that, I probably wanted, because I don't know if he was necessarily happy with how the first one came out.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. Like
I'm not sure. Like I haven't looked into that, but I've
perks, but
yeah, I mean, I was okay with it. Like as a kid, I was like, "Oh, this is cool," you know. It's like Spawn, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But I can see where, you know, some things I guess might not have been the way he wanted it to be. So, needless to say, since if there's ever been a talk about another Spawn movie, I mean, considering, he's the creator of it, right? He owns all the rights and stuff. He's been saying he wants to write and direct this one.
I think that'd be cool because he was a part of the cartoon that was on HBO.
Yeah.
And that cartoon was like awesome.
Yeah,
it was put together really well. It followed a lot of the comic books, which I like. That stays true to the story.
Yeah.
You know, and Todd McFarlane just himself is a wicked artist.
Yeah, no,
and
I know.
a mastermind when it comes to how he put that comic book together.
Yeah.
Like, he blew up Image Comics with Spawn.
Yeah, no, that is, I mean, we even touch on that. The whole thing with Image Comics is, I mean, I don't know if, how many, I mean, it's probably a well-known fact. Some of you might not know that when he was starting out, he was working for comics like DC and Marvel. Mm-hmm. But he had a big problem with how the artists were being paid for their work and how they were being credited for their work on creations, because him and a couple other artists were actually creating characters for Marvel and DC, and Marvel and DC were not giving them those creative rights for those characters. Yeah. So needless to say, he decides one day he doesn't like, you know, how that is, and he goes off on his own, and with a couple other comic book guys, I'm not too sure the whole number.
Yeah. Well, we'll look into that.
We'll look into and get more facts and talk about this later. But he goes in and starts his own comic book company, Image Comics, and it just takes off.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is, I mean, he's given more the readers maybe more what they want, a little bit different, darker kind of stuff. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's just it. Like, you know, on one hand, you know, for me, it was like, you know, Superman was kind of the light side, you know, the nice side, whereas Spawn was the dark and the I'm gonna rip your throat out, you know, like that's what I liked. And
I thought Superman, that was cool.
It was like, you know, it was kind of like the yin and yang kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it looked at for me, because I was a huge Superman fan. And then when I bought my first Spawn comic, which is the #1 from that little convenience store in DC, when I was a kid, I bought that first comic, hooked, like addicted.
Yeah.
Like my Spawn collection is huge.
Yeah.
Like it's coming on Monday.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I can't even remember if I seen the cartoon first or the comics. It would have been the comics or figurines.
Comics came first, and then
I know
it
they
doesn't
did
matter
come
which
first,
whatever.
but I think I remember slowly kids coming to school and bringing Spawn figurines. And like, what is that? Oh, that's Spawn. Who's he?
Oh, and that's the other thing.
You know, that whole thing.
Like figurines, like he
has his own company
from G.I. Joes, you know, and like just your regular like comic book characters, like anything that was made by Marvel or DC that had nothing on Todd McFarlane's toys.
Mm-hmm.
His toys were so detailed. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was insane.
They're amazing. They still are to this day.
I bought one for my one son, and when I realized it was a collectible, I kept it. Put it away. I let him unwrap it too, and then I realized it, and I went, "Oh, wait a minute, give me that." I went and I fucking put it away, and then got him something else.
That's funny. So I mean, with the Spawn thing, you know, I remember the toys, I remember the comics, and I remember the show. The show, we didn't have HBO. Where we were in Canada, we were in Nelson, BC. I think we got it on late night YTV or Teletoon. Correct me if I'm wrong. If any of you guys remember where we seen it.
Yeah, because it might have been on Teletoon.
No, Teletoon
or MTV.
It could have been. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I remember it being kind of like a hard thing to.
If we're wrong on anything, or you guys want to add anything, just throw them in the comments, and we'll get back to you for sure. Exactly,
because we want to have the open discussion here about the stuff and how this stuff has been on in our lives and how it's affected everyone else. Because it's kind of interesting to see, like where everyone was when these certain things happened and how they affected you. So back to the movie.
Yeah. Sidetrack.
2017, I guess, is what they're saying is when he announced it. Get most of my stuff from videos and stuff. I do a little bit of reading, and I'm going to look into it more. I'd like to have maybe more concrete facts, but from what I can tell, it was announced in 2017, which is the year we're in right now, if I'm correct. And shortly after that, Jason Blum from Blumhouse Productions, he might be known. He's been the producer of The Purge and Paranormal Activity and that kind of stuff. Yep. Now he's been tied to the project. So take what you will with that. See, that's
cool because I like Blumhouse. They do good.
And then they want to rated R, and thanks to movies like Deadpool, and Wolverine, but it was Deadpool first.
Deadpool is definitely
paved the way for rated R movies. And Ryan Reynolds was a huge advocate of getting that movie true to the comic and with the rated R.
Yeah.
Go for it.
No, go ahead.
Hollywood for so long has been trying to keep this whole rated R thing down. Oh, let's market to 13-year-olds. Let's market to 13-year-olds. That's fine and dandy, but we need also good products out there that are good. Maybe if the parents, can do their job and decide whether or not they're going to let their kid watch that and give them the proper context of what it is. I personally don't think I'd let my kid watch Deadpool when he's younger because of a lot of the profanity and stuff. Wolverine, maybe. Depending what age they're at, because I was getting away with watching some pretty, violent stuff when I was a kid. What, Terminator, Predator, nobody batted an eye. Well, and then now all of a sudden, we can't have a rated R movie.
But that's just it. Back in the day, movies nowadays, they've taken all the imagination out of it.
Because they show you too much?
You can see everything. There's no, you know exactly what it looks like when somebody's guts spill out.
Yeah.
You know what happens when somebody gets their throat literally cut. Or decapitated. You see the insides, you see everything now. No, back in the day, you kind of saw the motion.
And then it went away. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Somebody's dead with blood and whatever.
Yeah, you know what's a really funny point about that? Is in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there's a scene, I think, when they get hooked up onto the fish hook or something like that.
Yeah, man, they scare the shit out of you.
But you actually never see it actually going into her back.
That's my whole point.
Exactly. But people are still, there's quotes to this day where people were saying that they actually seen it go into the back, and that's your imagination.
Yes. Exactly. Because that's why the old movies worked at scaring you. Because it made your mind work. Now you could just sit there. I don't know how many movies I've seen, and after I'm like, I don't even remember what I watched because it kind of had me, but not really. Now, my mind was thinking of something else.
But the thing here though is Spawn being rated R. That doesn't mean that they have to open up the floodgates and be like, okay, let's just make this stupid.
No, it shouldn't be a gore fest.
Definitely shouldn't. Todd McFarlane has stated that he this is where you might start to be like, whoa, what's going on?
It's a sad ass story.
But this is where you might want to be like, oh, Chuck, what are they doing? He stated he does not want it to be an origin story. He does not want Spawn to be the main focus. He wants it to be more along the lines of a movie like Jaws. He wants Detective Twitch.
Sweet.
He wants it to follow Detective Twitch.
Oh, that would be kind of a nice thing.
I think it's intriguing.
That'd be a pretty cool twist. A little different, but Twist is a pretty freaking cool character.
Is it Twist or Twitch?
Twitch.
Okay.
I think it's Twitch.
Yeah,
Twitch. He's freaking awesome. He gets shot in the head. And
does he die?
No. Fucker lives, man.
So is he supernatural too then? Well, I did watch Cartoon, but I was 5 years old.
But even in the comic books or whatever. Anyways, when I was a kid, I've got from 1 to I don't even know. Probably into the hundreds, a full run.
Like the issues.
Yeah. And I don't know. And then whatever's in those.
Yeah.
But just the comic book. Like, Twitch is a cool character, man. Him and, what the hell is the other cop's name that he runs with his partner? Anyways, the two of them are awesome. Good people.
So, yeah. So
trailed off a little.
No, that's fine, man. I totally get what you're saying. I mean, you're giving a little insight to me into his character, and you're intriguing me on enough to go and like, look, hey, I forgot about this Twitch guy.
Yeah.
Let me go look into this again and see what he's all about.
Yeah.
So they want Spawn to be like the shark, kind of like lurking in the background. He doesn't want to show Spawn too much. He doesn't want this to be a 1990s rubber fest, and I don't blame him for that because
I love it.
Because I mean, I get where like that whole like rubber fest thing of the '90s was, and that's what they did with that Spawn costume. And I remember people thinking
that costume was horrible.
They didn't.
Jay White is a huge motherfucker already, and then you put this much shit on top of him.
Because they put all that muscle on top of him, and it wasn't.
The fucking guy is already jacked to shit. Just do a Deadpool type of costume that's just like normal.
Yeah, like Batman, like Batman versus Superman kind of costume.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like that kind of latex rubber kind of.
Yeah,
but symbiotic because it's a symbiotic suit. It's
exactly.
It's not.
It's a living suit, but still, it didn't need to be 12 inches thick.
I guess people really hated the cape in the old movie because the graphics for the time and that whole end battle.
That's what we had at the time, guys.
So why knock it, right? That's what I thought it was cool when I was a kid. I'm like, ooh, there's a freaking flying lifelike cape on TV.
I get they did the best that they could. Like the suit sucked. The movie was okay. I'm a huge Spawn fan, and it killed me that I was like, at the end of the movie, like, okay, yeah, it was good. And I think even at the end of the movie, I was even like talking it up, trying to, make myself believe something.
Well, me and Ashley, my girlfriend, just watched it a little while ago, and it was the same thing because I was kind of like talking it up before we watched it because I had good memories with it. And we were watching it, and then I could just you just see my smile just going like this, like kind of like that the whole time, and then being like, well, and making up excuses for it along the way, like. But that's what it is. It's an old movie. We could go off about it for forever.
But anyways, what's your new one? Well, what else?
So they want to show they still want to show the influence Spawn has on the world. So be what you will. If they're going to show him a little bit, it wants to be almost like a boogeyman kind of thing. Make him be this alive, kind of breathing entity. And I don't know how much they're going to show it.
It's
very
interesting. Protector of all the people in those alleys, right?
Yeah, and to top it off, I guess they want to have a TV series. I guess Kevin Smith is heading it, and it's going to be along the terms of
Kevin Smith. Not fuck it up.
Of The Departed or something. I've never seen The Departed. Do
not make it a cheesy movie.
Oh, and I guess Tom McFarlane wants Leo DiCaprio to be Twitch in the movie.
No.
But I don't know.
No, I think I can't be Twitch.
I don't know because that's what he says.
Leonardo DiCaprio because he's like Leonardo DiCaprio.
He said because he was amazed with his performance in Wolf of Wall Street. Have you seen the movie?
No.
It's a good movie.
It's good.
Oh yeah, he's really good.
Well, no, Leonardo DiCaprio was a good actor.
I know you're not questioning that.
Like, take fucking Christopher Lloyd for Christ's sake if you're gonna just pick somebody. He's got more of a look of Twitch than anybody, and he's 80 years old or however old. I don't know.
Well, that's the awesome thing about it, right? Whenever they announce, or it's not even an actual announcement, but that's a great thing. Everybody's got their own opinions. Everyone can, you know what I mean? Like, debate and talk about it. I love that.
And whoever he picks, whatever, I'm going to watch the movie. And the TV show.
Exactly.